Hey, comic book world. Welcome to Comics Covered. I'm John, co-founder and CEO of Cover Price. And this is Matt, co-founder and CCO of Cover Price. And we
Oh,
get together weekly or so to talk about comic books and all the stuff that's happening with coverprice.com. But we did take a bit of a break. So this is our first day back, aside from, if you haven't seen our big end of year report, 3 hour thing where Matt and his team basically
you
go
gotta
through.
watch it every minute.
You have to watch every minute. Go back and watch it, because it was literally all of our data from 2025, and we created a bunch of cool lists that I think people enjoyed. We got a lot of views on that one.
Or you can just read the report and you don't even have to watch it at all.
But then you won't get our fun commentary.
That's right.
Yeah.
And our commentary is just that fun.
It stops at fun. Yeah, it's pretty much, you've nailed it. How are you doing, Matt? Did you have a nice little break?
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where you feel like, did I have a break? Did we have a break? But it was good. It was quick.
We tried to take about 10 days off for Christmas and New Year's and all that, and it was fun. I feel the same way, because I did some work, and then I was like, oh wait, those are like 2 or 3 days of working, and then
Yeah, we were working on that list up until the Monday after Christmas, and then before you knew it, it was New Year's, and then it was the weekend before Christmas. Then you're putting away Christmas stuff, and then it's like, oh, back to work on Monday. You're like,
oh, you put your Christmas stuff away already?
oh yeah,
Oh,
Sunday.
man. I'm slacking. Yeah, my lights are still up. I'm that house now.
Well, I didn't even bother to put them up, which I got Slack for.
Well then, see, yeah. But now you're the first to take them down, so that's great. That's great.
That's right. They're already done and done.
Happy.
Although I thought about it, it'd be funny. I was like, should I just put them up like one night and then confuse everyone, and then
just turn them on one night?
Yeah, troll everyone. They're like, were these here the whole time?
Did they celebrate? Okay, great. All right, cool.
Right.
But yes, happy New Year to all of you. I hope 2025 ended well, and that 2026 starts with a bang. We're just in the beginning of it. We've been having a lot of fun meetings with the team, planning out all the promises that we've made to you guys in terms of features that we're going to release this year, and updates to the site. And I'm happy to say it's going to be pretty cool. I won't get into it right now because we're still in the planning stages, but obviously an app, obviously. And then all the
Eager wants an update of the beta of the app drop.
We're in the alpha of the app drop.
It's happening not tomorrow. Yeah.
Not tomorrow. Too soon. Well, obviously we are working on that. That's one of our main priorities, but we are also launching a ton of updates to the way we calculate the values, how we organize the sales data, outlier detection, quarantine zone, verification. We're introducing image recognition to match some of our sales more effectively. So like, it's kind of like one of those things, like, yes, we're working on the app and we're structuring how all of that's going to be built and carried over into an app format from the website, but also values. That's our bread and butter. So we want to make sure that those are always kept up to date, and that you guys can trust us, that we're reporting the right stuff.
Based on that, what should our users expect to see on the front end with those changes? Will it be faster? Will it be...
Yeah, I mean, so for the update for the database should have a performance increase, because we're now skipping around some. Instead of going to like 10 different servers, we're going to one, and we have the lists all set up better. And it took us literally about eight to 9 months to structure that. So that should be a performance boost.
Less, right?
What's that?
It shouldn't trip over itself.
Yes.
It's going to be less, because a lot of those processes that used to get hung up, and that would, quote, give the impression that the site was frozen or not.
And some of those load times. The team is working on that. That should launch by the end of the 3rd week of January is what our time date is. I put my hands up because we've been pushing that back and trying to get it right and all that, but it should be in January. And then fast after that, we're doing optimizations for the website, for the database. Think of it this way: like, when we started Cover Price, if you guys don't know the story, which I'm sure everyone here probably does, it's an organic website. We didn't have funding. We built it with what's this phrase, by hook or by crook, kind of thing. Like, we really went out there and just made it happen with all our connections to different developers, and we invested all of our own money into it and just tried to make it happen. So now we had to pay a big tech debt, but that tech debt, I can almost say, is pretty much paid, because once this launches, it sets the groundwork for us to organize our data in very unique ways. And I'm excited. It's going to be cool. It's going to be like, imagine an Excel sheet with over 1 million like tabs.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be like we have, and imagine that across like 10, 15, 20 different spreadsheets.
Yeah, if you think we're doing nothing, we are doing a lot. Like there's so much going on that our developer didn't even have time to message me back today. He did.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's day one we're back into it all. I mean, there's, like you said, there's so much to do. But we're all excited about it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot, and to lead into that, even outside of the things we're doing, it's kind of fun to talk about what to expect from 2026. What kind of trends do we see are going to lead into the year? I mean, last year was kind of a crazy year. You had price hikes across the board for a lot of companies. You had, basically PSA entered into the conversation for slab books. Then PSA bought Beckett, which means PSA kind of owns CBCS to some degree. So that's interesting. Then there's always slab drama. There was always some drama. There was the whole diamond stuff. It was kind of a crazy, I would say, transformative year for the industry.
Yeah.
Right.
You just mentioned diamond, right? The whole diamond stuff. Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, I forgot that it feels like that happened 3 years ago, but it was the bulk of it was last year.
It feels like it. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because we always think of this industry as like kind of static in a way, but it's really changing. All the like foundational pillars of it have been shifting from with the diamond thing to retailer distribution to web stores to artists distributing their own work to random stuff. So.
And just overall trends, like if you read our report, you can see Mark Spears' Monsters dominated last year. Absolute Batman, or the Absolute titles in general, dominated last year. Battle Beast dominated last year. There was, a big sweeping trends like blind bags were the bee's knees of 2025. Convention books were more than double of what we tracked for 2024. I mean, it was definitely not a down market for sure. And that was another thing we tracked on our overall sales, is that people spent less but on more books. So they were buying lower valued books than buying a lot of the higher end stuff in an overall way. And I think a lot of that contributes to, I was kind of looking over like what content was in the last couple of years, and I kind of didn't stop to think about it, but in 2024 we only had 10 related comic book content, 10 things that were comic book content related. In 2025 we only had 7. But something we'll jump into 2026, we have 18 things overall coming this year, and that there's another 2 or 3 that are supposed to also come out. So it, kind of the conversations, since content's been out of the conversation to some degree, it hasn't been gone, but it's been out of the conversation mostly for the past 2 years. It's let all this other stuff come to the surface, all these trends. So with 18 new things, will that change? Right? How will the market shift? Will blind bags still be a thing? Are convention exclusives going to still be a thing? I mean, the short version is yes and yes. but that's kind of what we want to get into in this show.
Yeah. Before we do, Matt, we have a JSS Brooklyn is asking, what are your thoughts on Kickstarter and similar publishing platforms?
Yeah, I love. So honestly, we talked about this at the end of the year-end show, where we kind of talked about what our personal goals were, and I actually mentioned this to Igor yesterday. I want to stop purchasing things online, like exclusives and stuff like that. I'm fine finding them at conventions, but I feel like even though I like a lot of those covers, I get a lot more enjoyment out of Kickstarter in crowdfunding campaigns for multiple reasons. One, you're supporting creators, and you're helping them meet their dreams and get stuff out there. And a lot of the stuff that they do through Kickstarter, ends, that's kind of like it gets picked up by a publisher and gets wider release. You're getting, you're getting really limited, hopefully limited covers that a lot of people are going to miss out on. Some of them have long-term potential, if they are really successful, really well done covers. To me, it's just all upside. Except for like a lot of it does take a lot of time. Like I have things that I purchased early in the year that still haven't come to fruition, and you get a little nervous around that stuff. There's things that I jumped in that I was so excited about for 2025 Kickstarter wise that I end up being extremely disappointed with by the product. The macro for stuff, I was really disappointed in that. But it's lessons learned. I really kind of have jumped into that. I've kind of pivoted that, and what I always push people to do, get out there and dig. Like I during the break, I actually went to, I think the first time ever standing in line for a 99-cent sale.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of all that. And where were you? First of all, is that near you, or was that like in a
it was here. It was like
Okay.
It was in LA. It was a new shop that opened up in Santa Monica. And so they did a 99-cent sale, and it was fun. I had a blast. I really enjoyed.
Show us your haul.
Oh man, where did I
anything good or?
No, I actually had. Here, 1 second. I'll grab it. I didn't grab it. Like I didn't get anything too crazy. I don't never share hauls. I guess I should.
Kind of what we do here, Matt.
So this was kind of stuff I love digging. I just love the fun of digging. What was this? Man, I forget what this book was. But everything was a buck. So the price is always right. And it allows you to take chances on stuff when you don't recognize something. You're like, all right, this was a kaiju score. So this was a variant for kaiju score, but it's a metal, right? So a buck.
Sure.
Like I'm not gonna leave a metal behind for a buck. Right? I don't know if I don't think it's super valuable, but it was a buck, right? This has gone up and this has sold for more. This is the Miracle Man Bill Sienkiewicz variant.
That's cool.
It has gone up to like $100 in the past. I think the past sales have been like 5, 10, 15, $20. But yeah, Miracle Man covers are really hard to find. I got that. I've been wanting this one for a while. This is the Cal Exit American flag.
Yeah.
I like Cal Exit a lot. So buck, I was happy to get it. This was from San Diego Comic-Con, Toxic Avenger. It was an exclusive from Bat City Comics. They gave like some of these out at San Diego Comic-Con, but I think these are still available on their store. But yeah, buck. This was probably my favorite find. Was this Sveta Bad Girl?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know that was Sveta.
Yeah, this Sveta should be now. This is Garrett Gunn's Bad Girl book.
Cool.
Yeah, for a buck, there's also little things like I'm a Horvath fan, so I like this title. This was the Comics Pro exclusive, and it was signed, and it was in there for a buck. So this was.
So was it just like long boxes and long boxes of like just digging, out of order? Yeah.
And then these were the last two things. Was these Jericho trades. They're extremely hard to find.
Wait, for a buck?
Yeah, for a buck a piece. So season 3 and season 4.
So you're telling me, Matt, you only paid $1 for each of those? He kept saying,
spending $10. Yes.
Not bad, man. That's cool. So, yeah, Matt sent me a photo of him being in line, and there's all these like comic book guys, and he's like on a second story of like some sort of mall, and I'm like, where is Matt? What?
I'm not gonna send my kids to college with that stuff, but it just feels so good to dig. I also was reminded on how annoying people are when they're digging. There's one guy was like, I was going through a box, he was underneath me going through the box next to me, and I was like, dude,
wait, literally underneath you?
he had like an arm like underneath. I was like, okay, you can. I just moved. I'm like, you can have this space. Like, I'll go over there.
Wow, personal
But
space.
I
So
always people like dig. Like you never. I kind of like letting the books find me, right? Instead of like going there with a list of things to get. You always find just interesting different things, and you take a chance on something, and then you get home. You're like, ah, this is worth nothing, and then the next year, you're like, oh, this is a good find. So it's fun, but digging is such an escape. Oh, totally. Like I will lose track of time. I will be there for 3 hours, and it felt like 10 minutes.
Matt Matt comes out hungry and dehydrated. He's like, "What happened? I don't know where I'm."
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and because you're riding this high, like there's something exciting about. Well, what was nice about this store and why I went is because they just opened the store, and these were boxes that they were holding back for the past. They used to have a store in Santa Monica, and during COVID had to shut down.
Hmm.
And so they've had a lot of these boxes sitting since COVID, and it's like, oh, you never know. There's got to be something in there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna dig through.
that's awesome. Yeah, well, good. That's part of the hobby right there. I told you I found a mall near me that had a shop that had like long boxes for days. Next time you come up here, I'll have to show you around.
So JSS is saying, what are your thoughts on the local comic shop in general in 2026? Well, I think we'll get into that, to some degree. There was an anecdotal thing that one of our team members sent us from Reddit, and how stores were doing based on their polls, at least in this micro lens, and that the absolute titles I think made up for over half of the poll list. Like, I think more than half of their poll list. Like one guy said, I have 200 poll customers, and like 120 of them have the absolute titles in their poll list. And then it was like, then Ultimate Spider-Man was like 40, and then it was like Beneath the Trees was like 30, and like it was interesting to hear some of like a lot of the things that are trending that's on our top 10 are the things that are moving for stores. So it's kind of nice. This is something we've mentioned in the past couple months. It's nice to see kind of this cohesion of what's moving in the front end is moving in the back end. I feel like that's a euphemism for something.
Could be.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I haven't had a conversation with my store about how successful they've been, but I know that stores that diversify a lot, like they have cards, they have cards, they have statues, they have dollar bins, they have new stuff. They seem to be doing okay.
Yeah, the stores that we've talked to just from as a cover price, I mean, I don't think anyone's complaining so far. I mean, and you're right, a lot of them diversify into cards and like D&D kind of stuff, like Magic the Gathering, playing sessions and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're doing all right.
I will say that I hear most of the negativity coming from the convention side of things, because a lot of people, we see like people aren't buying the big key books, right? Are buying the wall books, and I've responded to that. It's because people are going to conventions with $200 to $300 in their pocket, and they're going to spread that around as much as they can. They're going to spend. We've seen that happen. They go for the convention exclusives. They're not going for the wall books. Plus, I mean, I think the industry has known that conventions are sometimes the worst places to buy those key books, right? To buy those wall books, because there's a markup on it. Which is why if you're buying an exclusive, the price is what the price is. So that it's just what it is. You don't have to sit there and research it. You can get the book, move on, and do something new. We also saw a lot of people focusing on buying the things that they wanted to buy. That was a big thing last year. It was like people were just buying the covers they wanted, which is why we saw rise in popularity for like Flops and Sveta, and definitely Mark Spears. A lot of people are like, I don't like these things, or like I know Mark Spears says that, like a lot of people are like, I don't care for it, but it's like those people showed up in a big way last year, so people are buying them.
I like how you always say people are like, I don't want to get that, but I'll just get one, maybe two. And then
That's tidal wave stuff. Every time
yeah.
they'll be like, I don't like it. They're stealing art from other people, and then like, oh, that cover's cool. I'll take one. We've seen it at booths. They're like, I think these are terrible. Oh, but that's a nice cover. And then it happens all the time.
Matt Eager has a question. Do you think people will be ordering the DD blind bags after their last response to how they handle their issues?
Well, I think that's one thing we were talking about overall is I think there's going to be a pushback when it comes to blind bags. We saw one of my favorite blind bags of 2025 was Boom's blind bags. I believe it's San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Like they were affordable. I want to say it was 20. I can't remember if it was $25 or $40, but I just remember them being affordable. And you got 3 books. One was a rare one was a less rare one, and like it was staged. So you definitely got more than what you're paying for, with the chance to win something. And all those covers that were in there were amazing limited covers. So like when you buy that pack, you're winning immediately before you even open it. So like the confidence of having the confidence to say buy that bag without taking a gamble was easy. Or like, I did the DCKO for the blind bags, and it was like I got what I paid for, right? Like that's not fun to me, but but I got what I paid for. What was it a disappointment? Was it a disappointment? No. But at the same time, it was like, I did it for the gamble. Was why I bought like a couple of those, just because I thought it was fun to try out.
Yeah.
I know Mark Spears blind bags, you get like there's so many things in there. You can win. And plus the price point was crazy low for those. They were like $5-6. So if the value is there for those blind bags, they'll do well. But with the Marvel stuff, I don't think the value is there. I think like, you were buying things, you would open it up and it was kind of like meh covers, right? And then they were damaged, and people are like, well, do you think the near mint ones will be worth anything? I was like, they're still okay covers, right? Like at the end of the day, they're just okay. So I think there'll just be a higher demand, and Marvel's terrible at listening to like people, like give us better covers, right? DC's listening for sure, which is why they've been so responsive, and they're doing so. Hopefully Marvel will step up. I know their Whatnot exclusives are really popular. Like the One World Under Doom stuff was successful. Some of the things that they had early in the year, their red ruby versions and their foil versions. Anyhow, but
yeah, a lot of comments here. Should we jump into what we were going to talk about today?
Yeah. So overall, the big conversation for us, even though we know blind bags is going to be a thing, convention books are probably still going to be a thing. It'll be interesting to watch that market closely and to see how it changes, because I don't know how it can top. Like we tracked 1,500 individual books sold at New York Comic Con. I don't know how much bigger it can get than that.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be, again, I think 2026 is a focus on quality, and as consumers it's our right to demand that stuff. Like pay for the things that you like, and chase those things in the aftermarket for the things you like. Don't give people your money for so covers. That's
vote with your dollar.
Yeah, demand quality.
So
but the bigger trends that I wanted to jump into was the conversation around content. Content was such it overwhelmed the market for all of pre-game, well, even post endgame, but like Marvel specific content dominated the market. It was always our top 10 book, because they would talk about a character that's a new film or TV show that was going to come out, then that book would go crazy. Then it would be crazy for months. Then the trailer would hit, and then there would be some new things revealed in it, and then the people would speculate, and then a whole bunch of different things would get popular. So like content was such a big part of the market, and it's kind of nice because Marvel content, people learned that it was very what's the word for it? Not destructive, but it had a low shelf life, right? Like I don't even know if that's the right word. They would die quickly, and it was just because of the economics of it. Everyone would buy into this, wait for the thing to release, and then everyone would release them at the same time. The market would flood, and the prices would come down. The economics of that market was not sustainable, and I think people have learned to be cautious around that. But in 2025, I mean, I'm getting there. In 2025, we only had 7 related comic book properties, and that was Captain America: Brave New World, which feels like it was years ago. Thunderbolt, Superman, Daredevil, Born Again, Ironheart, Invincible, and What If. Right now, not all of those moved the market. Some did see spikes for a lot of those releases. But Invincible changed the game, I feel like, for content related books, and what good content can do for a brand. Like, I mean, we're going into its 4th season. This was the 3rd season this past year. And I mean, every book now in the run is $100 plus book. The variants are astronomical, even right now, and it has not let up. And it's a very interesting trend, even though it's nice that there's a series that has started and stopped. Like it's accessible, right? Even though it's not accessible price wise. If you find that run, it's kind of like it's a windfall of money. But it's basically, MC and freestyle, pretty much. So basically, what we want to get into is what's coming out for 2025, and how content, or will content, affect 2026. That's why, not 2025. We're done with 2025. But how will 2026 be affected by content? Will it dominate the market again? Will it take over the conversation, or is there room for all the trends, all the positivity that we saw reading, trends of just reading books moving because people enjoyed the story. People are enjoying the universe. People are enjoying the covers. They're buying into new artists. Hopefully, a lot of those trends spill over. But we want to jump into it, right?
Sure. So let's jump into here. I'll share my screen real quick, and then we'll go back to you. But first one on the list coming out in, let's see, we have a little handy dandy list. But 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank is what's that?
So what cover is that? Oh,
that's so I should say I just grabbed photos for visual interest sake. These are not like official movie covers or anything like that, and some of them are probably fan created, so forgive me.
That is New Wave Comics. It is a Snatch homage.
There you go. But so
keep in mind, for this book there were 36 covers. 37.
So, at a high level, this is the list of everything coming out in 2026. We're going to talk about like all of these. So first, movies: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 TV shows, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 video games.
Yeah, it's a total of 18 comic related releases, if you include video games.
So coming out just in a couple months, 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank is in was that April?
I didn't even realize that was coming out. So that's kind of the thing, is like a lot of development takes so long that we always tell people this, like, don't jump into a book the second it's announced. You're going to have 2 to 3 years to buy into this book. It's going to drop in price and people will forget about it, which is exactly what happened with this book, because I was like, is that coming out? I totally forgot about that. And this is a really good book. So I mean, that book is the core book. Cover A is a $6 book near mid, right?
You want to share? Here, you want to share your screen real quick?
No.
Share your screen.
now I gotta go digging for it.
I mean, we don't have to do it for every single one, but it might be fun to kind of go in, and there you go.
So it's interesting, like, I mean, these are all the covers for it. I know the rarest one was, I think, this Mocha one.
Actually,
it was the retailer advance one.
If you go to the top and go to the series, you can filter by variants most valuable. Yeah, and then just turn on the variant toggle. Yep.
Yeah, it's let's do raw. So, oh,
And then you can click on the image to blow it up, the preview, right?
is this Larry's Comics? What? Interesting. I'll have to double check that, but that's interesting. Well, it says $14, so I don't know. I don't know. This has to be wrong. That was a bad one to jump into. Now I gotta double check that. But anywho, you can see all the variants for it. There's a lot. But it is interesting to talk about, like, will this property be any good? Are people paying attention to it? I don't think there's been a trailer for it yet, right?
I have not seen one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, trailer came out for it. Oh no, it's just news.
So typically you have a little formula, right? Where, I mean, it's kind of like as soon as there's a trailer, that's when you start seeing the peaks.
Well, the trends used to be, the old content trend was the best time to buy is when there's rumors, right? There's whispers. Meaning go to your shop, go hunt it, go pick it up. Don't jump onto eBay unless you're picking up the rarest thing. But then what would happen is it would be confirmed and there would be a spike, and then it would die down a little bit. Then the trailer would hit and would spike again. And then right leading up to the show, the second the show released, a flood of copies would hit and the book would be toast, like done.
Right.
There's been a few exceptions, which has been like, I think Umbrella Academy had a huge spike after the show launched and was successful. People liked it, and then that book jumped in value. The Boys was another one that jumped in value a lot after
Invincible.
Invincible, but Invincible was a hot book the second it was announced. The show was announced number one, at least in a lot of the variants, but it literally till season 3. It took 3 seasons for that to really spike. I mean, people don't realize that The Walking Dead also took 3 seasons to be $1,000 book. So like I know by season 2 it was $100 book, which is kind of crazy to think of The Walking Dead number 1 as $100 book. So there definitely are exceptions, but it's definitely not the rule.
Yeah.
So if you go back to that content list, it's interesting to look at it and see are there? I mean, Masters of the Universe is not even though it has a comic book, it doesn't come from comics. So it's interesting to talk about that one.
There you go. Here's your teaser trailer. Well, how do you feel about this? You're a huge Motu fan, so
I'm quietly reserved about it. It really depends. If you take liberties, too many liberties, like okay, Battlecat, he's an orange tiger. I don't love that. Like give me my tigers need to be green.
Well, his stripes are kind of dark green.
It depends, right? It's one of those things.
Maybe not.
You got to be a motive. There are some, you can make some, I guess some. You can let some stuff go when it comes to these things.
You have to. They're never gonna get it right. So
yeah.
And plus, it might look silly. Like if some of the superheroes wore their costume the way it appears in comics, it would just look ridiculous. They have to I liked what they did with X-Men with the leather, for example, right? Instead of spandex.
Right. I mean, but Motu is so easy. It could so easily be terrible, right?
more likely than not terrible.
I mean, like how do you sidestep some of the goofiness of it, right? I mean,
you sold it to me a long time ago when you said it was like future sorcery, like magic and future
nature. It's tech and nature in one together is really what Motu is. People think it's like caveman.
That's called how there's like steampunk and stuff and cyberpunk. That's called solar punk, when it's like a futuristic space where plants and technology have merged and people are using it and living with harmony and environment. Solar punk.
I mean, you think of Motu when you compare it to any large franchise, Motu is one of the most diverse lines across like any franchise. You can go toe to toe with any franchise, and it's probably one of the most diverse because every character was intended to be an action figure, their aesthetic, their look, their backstory, their weapons, almost every single character was unique next to the next one. Where I'm not slamming Star Wars, but you get a lot of droids, and a lot of the droids look the same. You get a lot of Jedi, and a lot of Jedi.
Are you a droidist?
I am a droidist, and I enjoy Star Wars a lot.
You think?
But I'm just saying, like, what is a very diverse world, and to not lean into it or to really turn it into something bigger would be a huge misstep.
How's the comic faring? How's the prices?
Well, I mean, it's I guess I could jump. Am I still showing my?
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll put you back in there.
I mean, Master of the Universe 1 is, it's a 200. It's down from 2021. So when things there was a film that was announced back in 2021. All those spikes happened during those first announcements. So like right now it's $220 for Motu number 1, $32 for Near Mint Raw. And then you have DC Comics Presents, which is the first appearance of He-Man and Skeletor, pretty much $226 near mint. But this is you can tell again, 2021 it was the $3,500 book, and now it's $1,000. I think people aren't necessarily sleeping. They're like me. They're quietly reserved, right? Cautiously. There are variants that have been moving. But it could be one of those things where if it is really good and it does go on to more things, then the market, this is one of those properties that the market will then respond after the fact. TV shows do breed that better than a film because there's a little more longevity built into it, and there's time for things episode to build. A film doesn't tend to generate that type of interest. But who knows?
Yeah. What about the whole Kevin Smith take in their animated show?
It was okay.
That didn't move prices on anything, did it?
No, it didn't do anything. Yeah. Yeah. But if you go back to the list overall, like, I don't think we need to go into every one of these things, but Supergirl, is having. I mean, here I could bring up my one if you want to just go through images.
Sure. But
Supergirl, again, like everything on this list is like cautiously optimistic, right? Supergirl trailer looked good. I'm excited. I'm mostly excited about Lobo, right? Which is why we see Lobo trend. I think we'll get some surprises. But to me, I kind of feel like this film will really cement on how people speculate on DC related content moving forward. Is it going to be more of Superman feel? Is it going to be again kind of that James Gunn, jokey, kind of less serious version? Is it going to be too much of that? And then you have Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is like, are they going to surprise us with, we know Punisher is going to be in it. Sadie Sink, people I think the last rumor I heard is that people are pretty confident that she's Rachel Summers or Jean Grey. I don't know what we landed on. Absolute Supergirl. That's what Easel said. Absolute Supergirl would be really smart. If they wait for the film and they release Absolute Supergirl, that could be really cool. Yeah. I mean, you're going to get laughs with Lobo in it. But like at the same time, I mean, Lobo's a wacky character, right? So, I mean, you can allow, he should have those comedic elements, but he's also a badass. So hopefully you get that. Brand New Day, I'm probably most excited about Brand New Day. I just heard a rumor, and I didn't catch it, but at the end of the last film, which was what was the last one?
No Way Home.
No, was it No Way Home? I guess
Homecoming, No Way Home. Yeah, I think
there was 3.
There was
Far From Home, Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. Yeah. There you go. At the end of it, one of the neighbors yelled Miles. Like his neighbor is some kid named Miles. I missed that, but so it popped in my Instagram reel. And then I guess there's been some casting that people feel like Miles could be coming. I don't know. Again, this is speculation, and I hate to even say it because we know that there's more is debunked than comes to fruition with this stuff. But in terms of just talking through it, I am excited about Brand New Day.
Yeah.
Playface, I don't think that's going to move the needle much for I don't even know why they're doing these.
I was confused by it too, to be honest. I was like, why? Like, this is a movie. It's not a TV show. This should be a TV show.
I mean, I'm going to go see it.
I'm going to see it and buy all the comics, but
right.
still.
I'm going to see it. But at the same time, like, it's still confusing to me why there's the Robert Pattinson universe is still happening in unison with the James Gunn stuff, because I thought that stuff would have been nixed. But anyhow, Avengers Doomsday, I mean, people are talking about the past few years, and this is a huge point I've been driving home, is people are talking about that comics have been dying or dead, or conventions been dead because of these big keys that are no longer moving. It's completely attributed to that boom in speculation, and all these key books were going nuts. And then Marvel just didn't do anything with a lot of these characters they introduced, or it was years in between seeing them. That people just learned, they just plummeted in value because people didn't trust their content. And it's funny, every time I see a Marvel film, the past couple ones, I go to it, I enjoy them, but then I'm kind of like, I don't need to see it again. Like, I kind of felt that way with Wolverine, Deadpool. I saw it, I kind of watched some moments again, but not the whole film. Like Fantastic Four was kind of the same for me. I was like, I liked it, enjoyed it in the theater, but then after the fact, it sits with you. Like, I don't really need to see it again.
The only one I watched multiple times was some of the Iron Mans, and then of course Endgame, Infinity War. That whole one, the scenes in that were just epic. But yeah,
I mean, I'm really excited about the film. I can't wait to see it. I just hope that it actually, like, I want it to move us down the field to get to something. And I do hope that it does lead to a massive reboot and we kind of get a new start for it all. I don't know. It'll be hard. Batman Nightfall was another one we had on there. I didn't even know that was happening. That's getting an animated multi-part series.
That's the whole Bane storyline, right?
Yeah, well, it was the post Breaking the Bat. So after Batman had his back broken, basically he brought in Azrael to come in, right, and step. I think for a short time it was Dick Grayson who was playing the role of Batman, and he didn't want to do it anymore. And then they brought in Azrael, who then just went crazy. It was like,
Azrael wasn't even like a character before that, right? They were like, oh yeah, and there's this guy who, right?
Oh, he was around for a little. He was around for a while. He wasn't a big DC name, but it was a really fun story because I'm interested to see what they do with it.
I mean, well, this is the animated, right? One. So does that ever move comic sales?
I've never seen a lot of, other than Invincible, I've never seen an animated show or movie move the needle. Or Into the Spider-Verse is another one that definitely had a lot of books moving because of that.
And this one's coming out.
It's home entertainment, so it's not like, well, it says, I think it's direct to home entertainment. So I mean, I've never seen one of those do anything to books in the past, so I doubt it. The Beauty is interesting because it's not the Ignition title, but the Image title, where a sexual disease makes you beautiful if you get it. That's the premise of it.
So then everyone's going for STDs, is what?
Oh, there was a trailer just dropped for this, and or a teaser. I didn't realize that's what it was. I thought it was Ashton Kutcher talking about some product. I completely now that I see it, I completely disconnected from. Didn't even make that connection. So there, obviously, I think this premise took away the sexual, the STD version of it, and now they're billing it as a shot. So that looks like it's the one twist, the change that they made. I kind of think they should have made it kept it with an STD.
So
But
what was it? It was an STD that if you caught it, you became
if you
beautiful.
caught it, it became beautiful, right? So then everyone wanted it. But the problem was everyone ran hot, right? Meaning everyone you had a constant fever. And then yeah, right, right. I'm an STD man. I'm always.
What we're saying is
clip that Brian uses for the social media is like, I'm an STD man. Yeah, don't use that. What was I saying? But what happens is people then start spontaneously combusting. So like people are suddenly dying from the
but
virus.
they're dying beautiful, and that's the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun. Like the end of the first issue is the main detective that's kind of looking into like this person spontaneously combusts. So he goes in to investigate with his partner what's going on. I mean, everyone's like, oh, this beauty virus is like just out of control. So then he sleeps with his wife later at the end of the book, and then he looks in the mirror after sleeping with her, and he's beautiful, and he's like, oh, like he's like he'd be like, cheated on her, cheated on him. So like, and now he has the virus, and that's kind of the twist of it. So I mean, it'll be a fun. I'm interested to watch it. FX, I guess, doesn't matter. The fact that it's on Hulu is good.
Yeah.
If they can do it well, if you've not seen it before, it has a really gorgeous Jenny Frieson cover for the cover B variant for it.
Do you want to jump to those covers, or?
I guess I could. I mean, I don't want to hype up the beauty too much because I don't think this is going to move the needle too much. Because it's not like a very.
I'm just hyping up Jenny Frieson.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's not like a big block. It's not like a sci-fi heavy book, but it is a good read. So
yeah, that's gorgeous.
I mean, I bought this just for the cover. So and I also enjoyed the book, but this was the cover that I picked up. Man, when was this? 2015. Man, it feels like this came out way longer than 2015, but still it's 10 years.
Yeah, that is 10 years. Jeez. 11 years, huh?
This was a fun cover though. This was seeing some good trends. So it's kind of a crazy cover. That's Andrew Robinson. I do like Andrew Robinson, but it's kind of a crazy cover.
That is crazy.
So once you like, here, I'll jump back into the list. Where did my list go?
Yeah, I'll pull it up here. Here you go. So now we got a Wonder Man.
I'm so not interested in it. I have not even watched the trailer. The trailer came out 2 weeks ago, and I have not watched the trailer for it because I'm like so not interested in it. I don't know. I WandaVision was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know. Will Wonder Man be something?
I mean, yeah, I got that same level of excitement, but it's more for like because it's a Disney thing, and there's so many just like it doesn't feel special. It just feels like we're putting them out.
I will say I watched Ironheart. I wasn't excited about Ironheart, and I enjoyed it more than I was expecting to enjoy it. Ironheart was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. So, kind of going into the same thing. I'll watch it again. I watch anything comic book related because, again, we're living in a world. We're so spoiled, right? Like we're living in a world where, when we were growing up, we had Tank Girl and the Tick, and the Men in Black and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's all we got for comic book related material, and Batman, of course. We had Batmans and some Supermans, and
I will still say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That first one was fantastic. What was that, like in 89, 90 or something?
I will say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, is one of my favorite movie going experiences. Like, I don't know. Even though Bebop and Rocksteady didn't show up and we got those other mutants that were kind of like the replacements.
Turtle and
so high on Vanilla Ice at the time.
Go Ninja, go Ninja.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. I don't know. Something clicked for that. And I just remember consuming the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Hostess pies. If you remember
with the vanilla cream and the
green
green
shells, if you pull up a picture, here, well, maybe I can. Teenage Mutant. If you look at them now, they really don't look appetizing at all.
They were so good though. I mean, it's something I would never feed to my kid, but
like if my kid brought that home, I'd be like, that is radioactive. You cannot.
Is it getting hotter?
It's like, it's pizza. It's like the SNL skit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they want you to think. It looks like pizza. That's what they want you to think.
It was good though. It was I mean, I used to love those things.
They had all the cards from them.
Nothing but fructose, but
there was some content. Oh, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia had an episode around this where Charlie bought a whole bunch of these, and this was his big investment, was buying this stockpile of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Hostess pies, and then he started eating one and just crumbling apart in his mouth. Anywho,
pudding power.
Yeah, pudding power. It does look like, this looks like an STD. It looks like you would get an STD from eating it.
All right, what's next here? We have Wonder Man. We had Daredevil, Born Again, season 2. Which, by the way, the suit's legit. I like the suit.
I can't tell you. The first episode of Born Again was, I probably rewatched it multiple, like, I don't know, 20 times. I loved it. It was so good. I was like, this is going to be freaking amazing. And then, this is not a real cover, by the way.
Yeah. By the way, again, just a warning. All of these are just internet fluff that I pulled and grabbed as soon as for the show. We don't. These are all like fan made stuff, so don't take any of this for real. This imagery.
That Spider Guy said, "How about the Ghostbusters Ecto Cooler?" They brought back that. See that they brought that back a few years ago. So they redid it. So like that actually came back not too long ago.
That was the drink, right? It wasn't the it wasn't a pie.
It was I don't remember the flavor of it, but it was good.
Like a high C Ecto Cooler, yeah.
So Daredevil I was ultimately disappointed with, because I was like, in Jurassic Park where Jeff Goldblum says there are supposed to be dinosaurs on this dinosaur ride, right?
Yeah.
That's how I felt about this. I was like, there's supposed to be some Daredevil in this Daredevil show, right? It was the Matt Murdock show. Not that it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. It was actually fun to watch. It moved faster for me than the Netflix version, the stuff. But
I bowed out at episode 3. I'll probably rewatch it once I go back into Disney. I usually save all my Disney stuff. Right now we're in, I don't even know what we're in. Hulu or something.
I heard that it was not, once they shot it, it wasn't great, and they went back and reshot some stuff and to make it better. I don't know. I don't know. I'm again cautiously optimistic again when it comes to all this stuff. I just show him swinging around. That's all I want. Nothing.
That's what everybody wants. That's all we want. It should just be episode after episode of him fighting crime in his suit, doing his thing,
punching people and whipping around with his billy clubs.
That was so cool. That was the first time we actually see the billy club like being used properly.
Yes, which is why I was like, oh my god, this is going to be so good. And then we didn't get enough Karen, and she's awesome.
What?
Invincible is the one that I'm behind on. I have not watched season 3. I know.
Oh, Matt.
I know.
Shame.
There's something in my brain that can't do animated right now, and I don't know what that block is. And I think is because we've having kids, you went through so much animation that I just gotta kill it. Like I can't do animation right now, but I don't know. I'm working on it.
It's so good, Matt. It's so good. Like it's just
I know everyone says it's good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. All right, so Invincible, of course, we'll see more. I mean, it's already peaked. It's already.
I mean, all that will happen is all the things that are introduced in these episodes. Those books are going to spike. The question is when this is done. Right?
Will they stay high?
Yeah. Is this the new norm for Invincible? I kind of think it will. I think
the show is so good, and they're continuing to expand the universe in all different ways with Battle Beast and everything. And Yeah, the Invincible universe. I mean, there's going to be more animation. There's going to be side projects. Yeah, I think this is going to be a mainstay.
Some issues might dip, like, the first Conquest, that might dip a little bit. Some of the first, appearances of some of those characters that show up and then work through the season. I think some of those will dip. The boys is on its way out. This is the last season, I believe. So I mean, I wouldn't say now is the time to drop your boys books because the show will be around. I can't imagine they would abandon this universe, but I don't know. I think it's
well, they have spin-offs. They have that like college V something show or V High or college.
Yeah. What is it called? I've been watching that. It is definitely boys light. Like, it's okay. There's entertaining moments of it, but story-wise, it's definitely not as good. I like the characters in it, but it's kind of like a placeholder for the boys for me.
Real quick, Chad, Battle Beast. Yes, he's the strongest, but what about Alan the alien who just gets stronger every time you kill him? He just comes back stronger. He's like, by the end of the Invincible series, he's basically the strongest thing in the universe.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, Gen V.
Gen V.
Gen V. So yeah.
Gen V. Yeah.
I mean, they're weaving it and if you didn't watch the last season, they're clearly weaving the two universes together. So, in fact, I think the main character from Gen V is probably going to be the one that takes down Homelander in this season. That's
kind of fun to see. It's fun when they weave them together, but that just forces it's going to be like left field for some people who aren't following.
Yeah, you're going to have to go back and catch up. I mean, I'm sure they're going to because this past season they weaved a lot of those characters in. So here's, to me, if the DC universe clicks for people, if this show specifically works, this is, to me, the Green Lantern universe has been undervalued for way too long. I mean, you go to Jeff Johns' runs. What he did in those runs is some of the best storytelling in comics, hands down. All the Blackest Night and the Brightest Day stuff, and all the lanterns that he introduced were just it's so much fun.
As a creator, to take the spectrum of light and then like just create a whole new universe for these characters, you have to give them credit. Like and to weave it into the history of it and to make it like work. Like what a great thing.
I know this is like a buddy cop kind of show, is how it's being shown. And that makes me nervous, but I kind of feel like you have it depends what's the execution ultimately. So again, quiet reservation. That's how that's the whole point of this content, is the conversation here that we're having. Everything is quiet reservation. If something clicks, you're going to see that spike in after the show releases, because all of us have been trained to be pessimistic about the content that we're getting. Hopeful pessimism, right?
That's a lot of CGI. Oh wait, that's a lot of CGI.
It is a lot of CGI.
Well, I mean, yeah, like the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern.
This is not a real actor either, because that's clearly John Krasinski as Green Lantern.
No. So yeah, again, internet fluff. Just some stuff here.
Although he would have been a good Green Lantern, actually, in hindsight.
Yeah.
What is it? Timothy Chalamet's Zendaya?
Was it? Oh yeah. Yeah, pay no attention.
Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin.
I got to do a better job. I'm misleading people.
No, it's
of course, a surprise hit, right? X-Men 97 just
hands down. Like, okay, when I say I didn't watch animation, this was my favorite thing that I watched of last year.
Yeah.
The Gambit episode, easily watched that 50 times. Easily. Oh, yeah. I loved it so much that I watched reaction videos for it, and I probably watched 50 of those. That Gambit episode was probably one of my favorite pieces of content in the past 5 years.
You knew it was going to be a good series when Cyclops jumps out of the plane and goes, "I'll see you on the ground."
Oh, when what they did
But
with Cyclops was like, okay, finally someone gets Cyclops, right? Like, yes, he's cool, but he's fucking awesome. Oh, I shouldn't have. He's awesome. He's awesome. Like the fact that he was scooting himself around with his
oh,
second mutation, if you don't know, is strategy. I kid you, like, right? Like if
mhm,
you guys didn't know that, like in the X-Men, they introduced second mutations in the mid 2000s, right? Or early 2000s.
mhm.
And it turned out Cyclops' second mutation was a high aptitude for strategy. He like playing chess, he can see multiple moves ahead of the next, someone else, which is super interesting. And you kind of saw that in how he was able to use his optic blast to scoop himself around and set himself
Yeah.
up, and
I I
yeah.
saw the funniest clip. It was Cyclops and Wolverine. It's like claymation or like little figures,
Yeah.
and he goes. So they're talking about their powers at the table, and Cyclops is all like, "Yeah." Wolverine's like, "Well, can't you just heat up the coffee with your lasers?" Because I don't shoot lasers. But yeah, you do. I see you always shoot lasers. They're coming out of no, 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 no. It's actually it's concussive blasts. What? Yeah, no, and it's not even a laser. It's I open my eyes and it goes from the punch dimension. The what? How do you? And then he brings in all the other X-Men. They're like, wait, tell them this story. And they're all laughing at him. The punch dimension? Yeah, that's a thing. It's kinetic energy.
That's right. He does flow all the kinetic energy through an alternate dimension. Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy
And
times.
Havoc works the same way, right? Yeah.
Beast comes in and goes, how do you even observe that it comes from the punch dimension? How do you look into your eyes if it's all connected? The whole thing. It was so funny. All right.
Vision Quest is so I'm super excited for X-Men 97. Vision Quest is like, okay, this was supposed to come out like I feel like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think we're all tired about this. Like,
Well, I'm like, who cares? It's like, but again, you have to like close these narratives, right?
although I was wondering what happened to the White Vision.
Well, that's why so many books dropped. That's why so many people felt this effect of comics dropping in such a drastic way, is because they left all these hanging storylines and hanging characters that you didn't see for years, but the value is just plummeted for all these related books.
Yeah.
And I mean, the White Vision appearance is definitely one of them. I don't think this will move the needle on those books again.
No, I think that's ship has sailed.
Maybe to some degree, but again, I'll watch it 100%. But
It turns out Vision fights Doctor Doom, and we'll somehow bring it back into Doomsday, and then
like I want to be wowed on this stuff. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I did watch that. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun.
I don't think
it's kiddish.
there was speculation around it. I know that the variant for this went crazy for like a couple months. The related book to it, so there was some movement on this. I know by the end of it, he's in his normal costume, which is nice. Spoiler. So I'll back on it. So I'm actually super excited. I know I shouldn't be. Anything related to Nicolas Cage, you should be cautiously pessimistic towards.
Mm-hmm. And it's coming off on MGM Plus.
What's that?
It's coming out of MGM Plus as the streamer. I don't even know. I
don't know. I mean, that's going to be the kryptonite for it, and that's probably going to kill it. As long as it could be somewhere else, I don't know how they got it to be on MGM. Who's on MGM Plus? No one.
I didn't even know they had a streamer.
I forgot that it was on MGM Plus. The fact that they let that happen is horrible. That will be the death of it for sure. It's not going to find an audience. It's hopefully the port someplace else. But
Chad, you're on fire today, dude. I like that. Does he stick to the sticky dimension while he's wearing sneakers?
Yes.
Everything is now their powers all come from. There's all these different dimensions.
I'm like, but I love Spider-Man Noir. I love any alternative Spider-Man character. I like it when it's a really drastic, different version of it. I know Nick Cage. I know the cheesiness of Nick Cage, and that makes me like this even more.
Did you
right?
just say you know Nick Cage?
No, I mean, I don't. But I know, Nick Cage's style, right? You know
Yeah.
that there's a little bit of like cringe cool. I don't know how else. Yeah,
Cool.
cringe cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's MGM Plus though is like
Yeah, it's rough.
it's one of those things where I wouldn't be buying into the book for the current prices. It's like I think of 450.
I mean, yeah. And then we have a bunch of video game stuff happening. We have Wolverine.
Yeah. Oh, and
Invincible.
Criminal was the other one on Amazon. I think
Oh,
that
Criminal.
actually could have some like crime dramas do well. I mean, it's been a while since we've had like I've been rewatching The Sopranos lately. Not that Criminal is like a Sopranos-esque, but that could do well. Will have the same effect on comics, maybe some light version, but not crazy. Games are kind of one of those things where games has almost no effect, very little
Well,
effect.
Marvel Rivals moved the needle.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. You prove, yeah, you're right. Yeah, 2025 Marvel Rivals was the one thing, the one bit of content that was actually moving the needle across the board. Like they would show like what was it, Sue Storm in her dominatrix costume.
Yeah.
And that book was good, like went nuts for like
I
a couple.
wonder why.
Squirrel Girl, Jeff the Shark is even more popular.
The creative direction on the characters for that were fantastic. So I think that probably helped, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolverine is the game I'm looking forward to. I don't think that it'll do nothing for comics, but it'll just be a fun game to play. But
On
none of the other ones be
MS Windows?
yeah, Microsoft Windows.
What?
Yeah, I haven't even looked into those. I guess Fighting Souls must be a fighting game. And it's TBA 2026, which means it'll happen in 2027. So
yeah, I mean, the end of the main takeaway, I guess, from all this is that 2026 has a lot of content coming out, more than 2025.
Yeah,
and content draws attention to titles, and it makes people talk about them, and it makes
does, and it definitely moves. And then what I do like about content, and what I've liked about Invincible, and a lot of other popular titles, when it's really good content, it gets people into shops. It does. It just does. People go into them and be like, I want the first Invincible, or give me whatever I can that's Invincible. Yeah. And a lot of it was like, with the last season, they had Battle Beast lined up to come out around the same time that was released. I mean, just smart strategy is what the publishers should be doing around this content. If they're not developing content around these things, it's like, what are you even doing?
Yeah.
So it's there's a lot that I'm excited for. Definitely a lot. I'm pretty much going to watch everything on the list that we showed. There's things that I'm more excited about than others for sure, but
yeah, I mean, we're all fans, so we're all going to watch, we're all going to consume, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun, and we'll be definitely tracking it through cover price, and you'll see these things hit our top 10, and then you'll know what's going on.
Black Crown said Orlando. We should just say Orlando. Marvel Comic Invasion just came out. The game is fun. There's variants of the kingdom characters dropping, and no one seems to care. Yeah, I mean, you can't replicate the same trends that Rivals was doing, right? I don't think that was an exception, not the norm, for sure. And that's the thing with content. The amount of content that is successfully spiked because of the show or whatever content's been created is the exception, not the norm. And I think the market has learned to be cautious around those things.
It's been a mature market. I mean, like we've lived through all of the Marvel movies. We've seen that stuff, and then we lived through the aftermath of Endgame and people getting burnt out on certain series. So yeah, I agree. And like we saw in 2025, I think continuing into 2026, people are going to read comics and actually enjoy stories and kind of come back to the roots of like Absolute Batman or some of the creator driven stuff like Monsters.
It's interesting. So Gaming Channel is saying surly retailers are not going to forgive them for the blind bag gate. Yeah, I mean the stuff that happened to Ultimate Marvel, is that the blind bag? Ultimate Universe, whatever it was. Yeah, John, if you didn't know that all the blind bags that released during the Christmas break, almost every book that people were pulling was not just damaged, but severely damaged. Like every book inside the packs. And so not only were they underwhelming covers, but everything was damaged. So like
your crappy books are damaged.
Ultimate Endgame, thank you. Jeez. I feel like all these like they've already done these titles in the past. I know that Big Rig had about like its first blind box had big issues too, because they had a problem when the first issue launched, that people were getting they sent them sequentially, like, so meaning like where you're supposed to mix it all up and go out to different people. Like one person got all the rare stuff, and then one person got all the nothing, like crap stuff. Like people were pissed. So there were a lot of cases of like, not great blind packs and blind boxes. I was interested, like the Image stuff. I did see some movement on the aftermarket when the Image blind pack that came out during Christmas. But I didn't see anyone posting their hauls or doing any openings, which I was looking for. I wanted to see if people are going to pull any of the really hard to find stuff. Like everyone wanted that Ghost Pepper 2, that Ito cover.
It's alarming when people don't post their wins, though, because then you're like, was that even in there? Was that even something?
And I asked Image, and they said yes, that they are in there. There were copies in there. And so I was like, okay, well that'll be fun to see those books. And the Youngblood book, the one that was kind of mixed into it, it was the secret exclusive that was across the packs. Not across all the packs, it was just in there. Those were selling for like $75 to $100. So, but at $20, it's a little higher of a gamble, right? I mean, it's easier to do $4 or $5. I don't know. I do like the blind bags. I do, but it definitely, I think the key would be quality.
You're gonna burn people out if you don't, like you were saying. Boom did a good job. One really nice book, medium book, whatever book. Fine. But people I think originally started doing blind bags just to move their inventory. To go through
Sketch of Iron Man. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry.
No, just cut me off. Whatever.
Sorry. Because I didn't realize. I guess I didn't realize that there were sketches in those packs. So that's. I mean, that's the fun gamble, right? If you're chasing that stuff.
Yeah.
Here, Collector said the same right thing. If buyers don't get an occasional hit, they just quit.
Right? Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna use blind bags as a marketing tool, it has to be something that rewards people for using it. Not just a pump and dump scheme that a lot of people back in the day I think were doing with a lot of their marketing stuff. Like it was a gimmick,
right?
But yeah, I mean, do a limited, treat them as like a cool variant or something. Like do a limited release of blind bags that you're guaranteed to have at least make what you paid for, you get, and then of course like the surprises and the golden tickets and all that stuff.
I must have not paid attention to that blind bag at all. Kevin Feige drew 2 covers and they looked ridiculous. Of course they did. He drew FF and X-Men logos. Okay. I mean, but that's
like, I'm Kevin Feige.
I mean, still to get Kevin Feige's signature, if the signature on there, that's the value right there.
Yeah,
right?
You're not seeing that anywhere else.
I mean, that's fun. I mean, it's always a gimmick. You are chasing. Like it goes back to John when we were at like San Diego Comic-Con, and we bought those $200, $250 blind. Yeah, you hit, right? I got junk.
I hit so hard though. It was so great. I got that in the remark of Invincible one.
You got your money's worth, and I was like, what? Oh, I could have used that money. And the remorse, the feeling of remorse.
It hurts.
But that's the thing. It's fun to gamble unless you lose, and then you kind of feel like crap.
Yeah, I put it there just to annoy Matt, to remind him of his loss.
But a lot of people did it right. Like, I mean, there were a lot of fun. I know that people enjoyed the Battle Beast ones a lot. People enjoyed the monsters ones. Even though if people are saying that it didn't, the Christmas one wasn't as successful for them as it was the Halloween one. I don't I mean, we did see some of that in the aftermarket, but still, I can't even fault it because it was a $5. Like you buy it for $5, and you could pull, potentially pull a book that's worth $600-700. I know you have a low chance to get that, but the fact that it's there, it's better than.
I always buy a ticket to the lottery when it hits $1 billion.
Like if I was at a store, that's the thing. If I'm at a store and they're in front of me and they're $5, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna pick up one.
Yeah, of course,
right?
Of course.
Because why not? I like the gamble. At $5, this is why we're like, have a subscription to Covr'd. It was like we were at one convention where we were talking to that one guy who was like, $5. I don't know. It's pretty expensive for our mid-price one, right? And I was like, "How much was that bag of chips?" And he just like smiled and walked away. Yeah, it was like you just ate 4 chips that was like $5, and that's it is.
This is our woe. This is what we do. Speaking
I
of,
saw that Sadie Sink is confirmed as Rachel Summers in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Okay, if that's confirmed. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Does that mean? I mean, Rachel Summers is Madeline Pryor and Cyclops' daughter, right?
I think Madeline Pryor and Cyclops' daughter is
Cable. So yeah, Rachel Summers is the daughter of. Man, I gotta look. If you guys know. Is the daughter?
I'm gonna say that's Scott and Jean's kid.
Rachel Summers is the mutant daughter of Scott Summers and Jean Grey from the dystopian future timeline. So she's a Days of Future Past character. So she's Cyclops and Jean Grey's daughter.
Very cool.
So I don't know how that applies. I don't know what that's. Again, it's so odd to introduce one of the first MCU proper mutants.
Mm-hmm.
Although I guess I don't know. I guess Scarlet Witch is technically, and they did also Kamala.
Right.
I don't know. Again, it feels odd to introduce an X-Men character when you're kind of at the end of your supposed, world.
I mean, they're going to spin it off. They can't. I mean, the X-Men title is too big. They're not going to just like do it a throwaway character. They're probably going to introduce them in it, and then it's going to be their own thing.
But I will say that with that announcement, if that's confirmed, then you're going to see her first appearance.
Yeah, get on it now. You heard it. JD broke the news.
I mean, if it's true, I mean, it won't go nuts. Oh, forget it. It's in Uncanny X-Men 141, which is like, I'll share it. If you'll know it, it's the Days of Future Past cover with all the characters X'd out.
Yeah, that's already
that it's hard to already make that book move. Because it's just such a good cover. Am I sharing my screen still?
Yeah, you are. You got it.
Yeah. I mean, this is right. Why do we not have that as a key? Oh, look at this.
It is a key. But no, not the Madeline Pryor one, yeah.
Well, it's Rachel Summers.
I mean, sorry, Rachel Summers. What am I saying?
Yeah, I guess we'll have to update that. Jeez. Look at us, not keeping up with our key info.
Well, we try. All right, Matt. I think that brings us to the end.
So overall, the trends, right, are going to be interesting this year. I do think that content will have some presence in the market more than it has in the past 2 years. But I don't think it's going to overwhelm like it did 5-10 years ago. And I think we're going to see a lot of the current trends that people loved and hated in 2025 is going to spill over, but hopefully lessons would have been learned from those.
Well, there's always new people coming into the people who haven't learned those lessons will make the mistakes,
and people will exploit them. They'll offer blind packs with not great stuff in it. Those will pop up. And
welcome to comics.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the same stuff repeats over and over. But
but it's fun. It's fun. I mean, don't get
it's
burnt
fun.
too bad, but you might hit and have a great time, and you're going to enjoy the stories. And I mean, that's the whole thing.
I mean, it's nice to, if you're picking up books to read, like if you were reading Absolute Batman, you're highly rewarded. You might not be selling them, but like to know that every book that you purchase has high value now, is it's fun. That's really, I mean, the core of like when we were kids, what got us into collecting and to Image was like the fact that like a lot of these things were worth money, and then you read them, and then you fell in love with the characters, and then you started picking them up to read.
When we were collecting as kids, I never thought about I knew they might be worth something someday, but I always loved the story. I love my Crimson, I loved my Spider-Man stuff, I love my Battle Chasers.
During the Image launch, I remember asking the shop owner, I was like, what's going to be worth money? And he was like, kid, if I knew that, I wouldn't be working here.
And they shut down like a year later.
They shut down.
All right. Well, on that note, Matt, thank you, man. Always good to hear the predictions. I think 2026 this is the start of it. We'll see what happens this year, and we'll be talking about these titles at the end of the year, and we'll track them all.
I know it's going to be exciting for us just because we have so much going on this year too. So, and we're going to be at more conventions. If you have any interest in being part of our street team, reach out to us. Well, if you're near a big convention that we're not going to, like MegaCon and a lot of the fan expos, we'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, Matt at coverprice.com, right there on the screen.
Cool.
All right, guys, have a great night. Happy 2026. May this year be everything you guys hope it will be, and filled with comics.
And you get your own personal, you get your own little your own goal, your own comic goals, right? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that was nice. That took a while, but we got there. Yeah. On that note,
out from the end.
Yeah, and clipped. Bye.